Rebuilding Lower Manhattan is not just a job, it is an obligation we have. I'm very excited about the Freedom Tower. It's going to be unbelievably important, not just to New York, but to America, because it is going to help restore and reclaim our skyline. It's going to soar 1,776 feet high and have a beacon of light at the top that symbolizes our freedom. We're on our way. We're getting there. But we also have to rise to the heights and rebuild the offices so that we have that critical mass of global financial giants here. Wall Street is synonymous with American economic strength, and we're going to continue to be the financial capital of the world, not just for weeks or years to come, but generations to come. And what we're doing in Lower Manhattan is going to be an important part of that.
Downtown is one of the fastest growing parts of this city. There are people who want to live down there. You see a lot of old buildings being converted to residential. And, take a look at all of the World Financial Center and all of the buildings going right around the tip of Manhattan. This is a major part of the commerce of this city, and I think it will remain that. This is going to create an enormous number of jobs, construction jobs, while this building goes up. But it is the catalyst for other developments, and I think you're also going to see other companies from around the world saying, I want to open an office in New York City, and that's the place that is New York to me.
The skyline of New York is particularly important. The Twin Towers made a linkage between the downtown and Midtown. And so by reestablishing a tall building, a very tall building, a building the same height as those World Trade Centers, 1,368 feet tall, with, in addition, on top of it, another 400 feet and more of a sculptural beacon of freedom that will send light out to the nation, together being the height of 1776, will create this balance again for the island. And I think now, in the restoring of that skyline, especially with the building that is of its main height, the height of the old buildings exactly, in its dimensions, in its plan, will restore that feeling of a symbol, of an exclamation point downtown. And so in a way, that act of symbolism, above and beyond all these other matters of pragmatism and safety and of just its own stature and creating something of beauty and light, is this idea that it will memorialize this place forever in the sky. I think that iconic things tend to be simple. It's such a simple obelisk shape that outline is burned into your mind and it becomes something that's special. What we've done in a new act of resolve and resiliency is to build a positive form. And as it goes up, it creates a base of the building which is not only secure but full of light and reflections on the outside. By chamfering these corners, we create these diagonals, and so as you move around, it turns from a perpendicular building to a building that tapers and then back again, at all times catching the facets of the light. The eyes of the world are focused on this building and on this master plan and on this memorial. And it's not only that we should do our best, but we should do so much more than we ever imagined that we could do in creating this place that speaks about the positive future while remembering the sad loss that we had.
We learned a great deal in 9/11 as to how to build buildings, especially high-rise buildings. We've utilized massive shear walls to protect the core of the building, the life safety core of this property. And as a result, occupants can and will feel comfortable in the knowledge that they're in the safest building ever constructed in this country. What we found so fascinating here in the reconstruction of 7, many of the workers who built the original 7 came back and are participants in the rebuilding of this building. So too, we do expect that there will be people coming from various parts of the country to work on the Freedom Tower. It is so meaningful. It carries so much emotion with it. Interestingly, the the rebuilding of the Trade Center will involve something like 10,000 construction jobs on an annual basis.
We will be building it. We will be building back the Freedom Tower. So anybody that comes, like traveling the night, traveling the plane, they could know exactly that's where it is. That's the Freedom Tower right there. It's back up. You could see it where from any angle you're coming from, coming into New York.
This is one of the projects that everyone will cherish, to know that they're part of the rebuilding process and to say, you know, I was a part of.
This is absolutely very personal for me. I feel very strongly that I would want that Freedom Tower built even in memory of my brother. I came down here to look for him, find his remains, and then rebuild, you know, the World Trade Center up bigger and better than it ever was.
We're obviously concerned about the development of the entire site and how it impacts the memorial, but I think what we see here is a sensitive design that gives the memorial the space that it needs to have its own identity that is very clear. And conversely, the tower itself has its own identity that is also very clear. Each one of them is a separate entity, but together they mark this precinct as the site of 9/11.
In many ways, the tower is the perfect tower for that spot. It is slender, it is crystalline in its shape, it's luminous in the light of New York. It's a tower that will be seen from all perspectives, and it certainly rises to an emblematic and powerful height with its spire and with its torch at the very top of the building, which asserts what it is about. It's about liberty. It's about the Statue of Liberty. Towards it beckons towards the Hudson River, and it creates a central point around which the cluster of buildings will be built in the future. And of course, at its foot is the grand memorial to the heroes of 9/11.
At the end of the day, we need to be sure that we can look back and with absolute conviction and without any equivocation whatsoever, be able to say to ourselves that we did the very best we possibly could.
You know, you think of New York today, and it's a city of, in so many ways, symbols. The Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, Times Square, Yankee Stadium. And I have no doubt that a century from now, people are going to say, yeah, Times Square, Yankee Stadium, the Statue of Liberty, and the Freedom Tower. That is New York. That is a symbol of America.